riri he toa he toa. Papatū ai raru ai te kakau o te hoi. Ka pātao ko koe māhuhu ki te rangi e rere ki tua Hawaii. He moana, he mānu tana waka. Ka makawera te patunga te ngā kina o tū whakararo. Nau mai e waha ko tāua ki tāku. E hara kei ahau he parawhara mau ngā rongo. Kei ahau he horoa rāke. Au e te riri, au e te nguha. Whiria te tuatini taku kōtuku whenua. Whakatau mai taku whenua. Te toa e tā mai wai titirawa. Whano, hara mai te toki.
Haumie.
Hui e.
Taiki e.
Haumie, hui e.
Taiki e.
Ka pai. E ngā mana, e ngā reo. Tēnei anō a Ngāti Whātua e mihi nei, e tangi nei ki o koutou haere mai. Hara mai ki tā tātou nei pō i a tātou e whakamāno atu a i a rātou ngā toa whakaihu waka o te ao Pākihi. Koutou e hanga ngā ohanga o New Tireni nei, hei rawa mo te katoa, mo te iti, mo te rahi. Nā reira, he kare kore, he pō whakangāhau kei te haere, he pō hari, he pō koa, nā reira, kia pai katoa te pō i tēnei pō. Nā reira, e te Premier, tēnā koe, missed you this morning at our first engagement of the day, and other ministers that were present at the Bold Steps event this morning. And so those of you that were there, I had to change my speech because I was going to do the same one. Hoi anō. Now in its 36th year, the Deloitte Top 200s are well established as the preeminent platform for showcasing the best of New Zealand business. The awards recognise the depth and range of business community featuring industry and sectors that underpin New Zealand's success. Prime Minister, once again, a little bit of Ngāti Whātua history. Our tupuna Paora Tūhaere had a 30-foot schooner and he was trading between Tāmaki, Rarotonga and New South Wales and back to New Zealand, coming down the east coast and probably playing graduates to Ngāpui so that he could get home safely. So we haven't been strangers to industry in our history. Hoi anō, at the time, Paora Tūhaere had to commission his own flag, because as you know, to do trade around the world, you have to have your own flag. So Ngāti Whātua has their own flag, and we got a few boats now, so we might be talking to some learned people out here in the crowd to see who wants to do business with the largest Māori economy here in Tāmaki, which is me and my cousin Fiona. Hoi anō, I'm very tempted to read all of Stacey's kōrero that's glaring at me on this little thing over here, but I better whakaputongia te kakau o taku paipa. So we hope you have a great night. We're quite sure it's going to be a night to remember. I think I was here last year, the year before that, and the year before that, so I think we should get an award for the 10 years of service we've given to this to Deloitte's Mr. Prime Minister. Hoi anō, kia pai te pō, kia tau ngā tauwhirotanga a iho ngā mano ki rungi a tātou, tēnā koutou, he wai.
He aha te hau, e wawa, ramai he tiu, he raki nāna, ia mai te pūpū, tara ki hiki, uta e tiki nā atu e o, te kotu ko ia te pō hakairo katu, ki wai te mata, i o kuwairangi e kokiri.
Tēnā rā tātou katoa.
Kia ora.
Hope I didn't steal too much.
E te iwi, two people who clearly could have done our jobs tonight. Please give your mihi to Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei, represented by Taiaha, Kōrua Tahi. Ko te kai karanga tino pai rawa atu. Tēnā kōrua, as always, they energise us, they welcome us, they make sure that we are literally brought together tonight. Haumie, which makes us allies. Huie, we come together for this event. Taekie, we are connected. So welcome to this wonderful night. As we get down to business, here's a guy who's got a brand new job. Kia ora, Jack Tame.
Kia ora.
Yeah.
Kia ora, Stacey. Well, honestly, in this economy, no one is turning down an extra job as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly.
So I'll take it for the
And I
time
can't
being.
say the same, so kia ora.
Tonight marks the 36th year of the Deloitte Top 200 Awards, recognising excellence and leadership among the executives and companies that continue to move Aotearoa forward, even through volatility and uncertainty.
So 2025, what shall we call it? A full-on year. Yeah, that probably covers it. That is this year that's coming to a close, and here we are fostering a cautious optimism, I think we can feel, as we see you, our business leaders, ready to break through that inertia and take some bold steps, as we talked about today, towards growth.
Yeah, there is a term that we are going to ban tonight at the Deloitte Top 200. We're not usually into banning things, but there is a couple of words that we're going to make sure no one speaks, because you might be thinking it, you might be feeling it, you might be vibing it, but no one wants to jinx anything. So if anyone dare comes up on the stage and says green shoots,
Yeah.
the band is immediately going to start playing, the lights are going to go out, the emergency alarm's going to be hit, we're going to be out of here. Because the truth is, for many of the leaders and firms in this room, these will have been extraordinarily challenging times.
Kia ora.
And that being said, it is periods like this where real leaders step up, where real leaders see opportunity and seize opportunity with confidence and determination. They distinguish themselves by moving with the moment.
That's right. Only green shoots we're going to see are on the designs on this stage, okay? Otherwise, you all know what it took for you to be here tonight. You all know how hard you've worked this year, so please give yourself a big of a cheers. Cheers to you all.
Cheers.
You made it. You made it. You've shown resilience, strategic ability, forward thinking, Kiwi magic, all those powers that we know you have, and we see you show so that you overcome the challenges in the world that we just talked about, Jack.
Yeah, that's what the Deloitte Top 200 celebrates tonight.
So we are going to get into honouring leaders and organisations that drive innovation and technology. You show vision, you shape a prosperous and sustainable future for Aotearoa, New Zealand. So are you ready to have a great night, everybody? I thought so. You can click your hands, you can twinkle your glasses or shake your jewellery.
I feel like if you're into social media, this is more likely to lean towards the LinkedIn crowd
Yes.
than the Twitter or the 4chan crowd. That being said, regardless of where you are sharing your evening online, the hashtag to use is hashtag Deloitte Top 200. One piece of advice from a seasoned pro: if you are thinking about giving a hot take on a really contentious issue, my advice is wait until tomorrow to do that. I mean, by all means, tag in Deloitte Top 200, because we'll take all of the clicks we can get. We'll take all of the activity, but maybe wait till mañana for that.
Yeah, not after 11 o'clock and not from this place. The bathrooms, they are along the corridor to your left. And in the unlikely event of an emergency, please follow the instructions of our staff. But it won't be happening because tonight is all about awards.
Indeed. And you'll be pleased to know that we've got just the right number of awards this evening. So 10 awards and then a special judges recognition. So Stace and I figure that we are just going to keep things moving, okay? We're going to crack the whip from up here, and I promise you're going to have plenty of time in between the presentations to enjoy some lovely food, some wine, to catch up with all of your friends and colleagues. All we ask is that when we are presenting an award, or when one of your colleagues is up here speaking to you all, that you listen up.
Ka pai. And I'm sure you will do career-enhancing things, not limiting. So now it is time for the Deloitte Top 200 to get underway. He has been a member of the Deloitte team for over 30 years, working locally as well as in London, Australia, and across the Asia-Pacific region.
He has served on the board of Deloitte New Zealand. He was the private lead for Asia Pacific and is on the firm's Asia Pacific executive leadership team.
In 2021, he took over as Chief Executive for Deloitte New Zealand. You know who he is, so please give him a very warm welcome. Please welcome Mike Horn.
Kia ora, Dick. Kia ora, Stacey. Inga iwi, inga mana, inga rauringa te rama. Tēnā koutou katoa. Ko Mike Horn, tauko ingoa, ko ahau, te kai whakahaere o Deloitte. No reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. So look, on behalf of Deloitte, it's my great pleasure to welcome you all along to the 2025 Top 200 Awards and Gala evening. And hopefully it really represents the culmination of a great day, because I know many of you have also been at the Bold Steps conference today, which I just thought was a phenomenal event. And for me, I think it's a great segue into tonight, because the theme of the Bold Steps event was ambition. And, I think that is the hallmark of tonight's sort of finalists and winners, is that they really embrace that sense of ambition, and I think it's such an important attribute for New Zealand to really kick on and make our way on the global stage. But there is one big difference, Dame Therese, wherever you are, from tonight to Bold Steps. There is no dancing cam, because I took a slight pause this afternoon and looked up actually the definition of awkward, and it said a whole lot of middle-aged men in suits, sober, dancing on stage in the middle of the afternoon. So I think that we'll just leave that little experiment to you, and we won't look to replicate tonight. But on to more serious matters. We're incredibly honoured to have the Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Christopher Luxon, here with us. And Christopher is no stranger to the Top 200 stage. He was the CEO of the Year winner in 2015. And like all of you, very much look forward to hearing his insights and reflections on how things may have really changed over the last decade or so since he gave his acceptance speech, especially now that he has quite a different role. But tonight's theme is about celebrating those who move Aotearoa forward. And look, the awards are really about showcasing the best of New Zealand business, those companies and leaders that are driving resilience, that are driving innovation, and that are driving growth. And for me, celebrating success in itself is critically important. We need to really encourage and recognise those who embrace that sense of ambition, who balance risk with opportunity, and who ultimately unlock economic growth, because economic growth is fundamental for us in terms of driving, really choices from a country point of view. And our business leaders aren't waiting for certainty. They're really looking to drive that themselves. They're leading with quiet optimism, as we've already heard from Jack, and seizing opportunities. And what we are seeing is some of those storm clouds are starting to disappear into the rearview mirror. So after a few years of turbulence, conditions are showing signs of stabilising. Inflation's easing, access to capital is improving, and supply chains are a lot more resilient. So that's all great news, and these changes really create an environment, I think, for more stable business planning. But I think for me, most importantly, the future will always have challenges. There's always moving parts. And I think that what you'll see from tonight's winners and finalists is that what they're really focused on is controlling what they can control. Strategy, talent, technology, and the things that are really within their reach. And the hugely successful businesses tonight have made bold choices in these areas. And it's really helped them stand strong in the face of factors that they can't control. Technology, and particularly AI, have transformed business. And I think what we're seeing is that AI is no longer a buzzword. It's becoming the backbone for growth. At the moment, though, what we're seeing is AI playing a big role in IT, a big role in cyber security, a big role in optimisation. But increasingly, I think in the next 3 years, it will start to revolutionise product development, start to revolutionise R&D, start to really revolutionise innovation. And that's a whole new frontier and that we're about to be part of. And obviously there's always a lot of uncertainty in terms of the future of AI, but again, with opportunity, comes risk. But if it's managed well, AI will be our biggest stepping stone to innovation. So even with the businesses sitting in this room, what we can already see is growth priorities are shifting. Innovation and new products will lead, and geographic expansion is returning. We did a survey from a Deloitte Asia Pacific perspective a couple of months ago, and what that really showed from New Zealand CEOs is that half of New Zealand companies expect most sales to come from across the APEC region within the next 3 years. So what that really tells us is the future of New Zealand is not just local, it's regional and it's global. So even though we're an island nation, we can't afford to be isolated. Staying connected to our international peers through trade, through shared innovation, is going to be really critical for New Zealand's growth. And our ability to engage proactively with international markets and confidently sell our value proposition will define our success. So I'm really excited to see how you'll all harness these and move Aotearoa forward. But as always, as part of these awards, it's a time for a huge thank you as well to all of those that actually make these awards so successful. So firstly, our exclusive media partner, the New Zealand Herald. But also really like to acknowledge the top 200 sponsors. And they're a very loyal group that have sponsored our categories for many, many years. So Amazon Web Services, ServiceNow, Forsyth Bar, Tax Traders, 2 Degrees, Business New Zealand, Snowflake, Hobson Levy, and then the newest member of our sponsor family, Credible. Also, especially like to pay a sincere thanks to Fran O'Sullivan. Fran has been an icon of the Top 200 Awards. She's been head judge and the convener of our judging panel for many years. And her alongside with that independent judging panel put in a tremendous amount of work in selecting tonight's finalists and winners. It's a tough job and they provide such a robust analysis. So as we look to 2026 and beyond, with I think that sense of strong leadership, innovation and a bold embrace, I think, of the international community and AI, I think that we can look forward with a bit of confidence that New Zealand is ready to navigate what lies ahead. So finally from me, congratulations to all the finalists. Your leadership is really defining New Zealand's future. So a big thanks. Hope everyone has a great night and really enjoy the celebration of your achievements.
Kia ora, mate. Kia ora, Mike, thank you so much. Made me really disappointed. I missed the bold steps, actually. But you see, that's the power of Dame Therese. DT, she can make people do anything. I wish I'd seen that. Congratulations. Thank you so much for starting us off on this fantastic night. So are we ready, everybody, for some awards?
Yes.
That's right. Ki te hoe, let's go. Let's start presenting awards.
Okay, our first award this evening for the Deloitte Top 200 2025 recognises an outstanding change in business performance. Our independent judges look at the relative improvement in all performance indicators over the previous year, the source of the improvement, other ways that the organisation has changed in the past year, and the significance of the impact that these changes have made.
E te iwi, to present the award for Business New Zealand Most Improved Performance, please welcome the Chief Executive of Business New Zealand, Catherine Rich. Matching outfits even. Kia ora.
As the leading business advocacy group in New Zealand, we are once again delighted to present the Business New Zealand Most Improved Performance Award. Let's take a look at our exceptional finalists.
With a proud heritage dating back to 1881, Sanford is now New Zealand's largest integrated fishing and aquaculture business with a commitment to producing sustainable seafood. Managing Director David Mayer is leading a review of all parts of the business, including pricing reviews, margin management, and simplifying and streamlining operations through disciplined execution. An external focus on customers and markets is rebuilding key front-end relationships at a time of global turbulence. An internal focus on capital allocation and operational cash flows is providing necessary capital expenditure to maintain assets with a strong focus on debt reduction and positioning the company well to pursue long-term opportunities. Backed by over $1 billion in assets and a skilled team of more than 800 people, Sanford produces over 100,000 tonnes of premium seafood each year. In 2025, the renewed strategic focus is delivering significantly stronger operational cash flows, supporting a stronger balance sheet to take advantage of opportunities as they arise. Tower is a proudly Kiwi-owned general insurer that has been supporting customers when they need it most for over 150 years. In the first half of 2025, underlying profit rose 69% to $61.7 million. Reported profit increased 38%, and Tower distributed $45 million to shareholders through a capital return, alongside an FY25 interim dividend of 8 cents per share. The company's share price has tripled over the past 2 years, from around 60 cents to over $1.80. In a flat and competitive insurance market, Tower achieved growth through disciplined execution, risk-based pricing, and a bold digital transformation. With 318,000 customers across Aotearoa and the Pacific, Tower continues to expand its footprint while setting new standards for customer-centric, digital-first insurance. Leveraging a diverse and innovative culture with over 900 employees in New Zealand and across the Pacific Islands, Tower's performance in 2025 marks a significant leap forward. Port of Tauranga is the country's largest port and international freight hub, handling a third of all New Zealand cargo by volume and more than half of the country's exports by value. Importers and exporters throughout Aotearoa benefit from Port of Tauranga's network of regional feeder ports, inland freight hubs, and cargo logistics services. In a challenging year marked by post-COVID pandemic destocking and restocking cycles, the port demonstrated exceptional discipline and resilience. Strategic decisions across financial management, service delivery, and capital deployment have paid off, with revenue up 11.4% and EBITDA rising 38%. The Ruakura investment is showing strong promise. Long-term anchor customers have been secured and efficiencies across the group are driving results. Most notably, Port of Tauranga has increased the return on invested capital, lifting it to 4.5% in 2025.
And the winner of the Business New Zealand Most Improved Performance Award is Tower.
Tower has delivered a standout year, driven by a clear strategy, focus on operational excellence, risk-based pricing, and digital acceleration. The result, a 69% increase in underlying profit for the first half of 2025. Strong shareholder returns and measured premium growth. Tower's transformation of the customer and claims experience, along with its commitment to sustainability and climate resilience, especially in the Pacific, positions it as a resilient and competitive force in insurance. Congratulations to Tower for winning the Deloitte Top 200 Business New Zealand Most Improved Performance Award.
Thank you. I'm incredibly honoured to be up here accepting this award on behalf of all of Tower and all of the Tower people who've come before me and come before us, who've worked so hard to build this business. Thank you to the judges, of course, and the team at Deloitte. I think this recognition reflects our commitment to building a business with purpose and profit, and for us as a business that's focused on inspiring and protecting the future for the good of our customers and our communities. We're striving to build a team and a culture that empowers every team member to bring forward their best ideas and to focus on the things that matter most to customers. And I think that's really key. It's focusing on what matters most to our customers. And again, for us, that's fair and transparent pricing, it's simple and rewarding experiences, and it's care when it counts. I want to thank previous Tower leadership for their vision in investing in digital transformation and risk-based pricing. investments that we are truly benefiting from today. I also, of course, would really like to thank the Tower team today for your passion and commitment. And a huge thank you to our board, some of whom are here tonight, and especially to our chair, Michael Stiasny, for your leadership and passion for our customers and shareholders over the years. So, this award is a milestone, but it's also a reminder that our journey never stops, and we will keep improving and we will keep building. So thank you.
Goodbye. Congratulations to our first winners of the Deloitte Top 200. Tower, fantastic way to start as well. You know, it is a really big deal to even be a finalist, so feel free to celebrate, to make noise, to hoop holla as soon as you see that you are a finalist. Like if we just say your company name and you go to say Tower, Tax Traders, Spark.
Oh.
Woo! So sparky, great example.
This is a risky game, isn't it?
Justine,
This
I
is
know
like
I've got you.
yeah.
She's a party by herself. So feel free to celebrate. Fantastic speech. Also, we should have told you the stairs are only in the middle here. That is the only way you can get onto the stage. For our next award, the 2 Degrees Best Growth Strategy Award, which recognises an outstanding growth performance. Our panel of independent judges looked at the past year's revenue and profit growth among a range of factors, such as whether the growth appears to be sustainable, whether it's based on international business expansion, as well as looking at the short and long-term advantages of the growth of the organisation.
And in what has been a bit of a tricky moment, creating a meaningful, considered, effective growth strategy comes with significant challenges for businesses.
The finalists for this award have demonstrated that even in the face of these challenges, positive outcomes can and have been achieved.
So, to present the 2 Degrees Best Growth Strategy Award, haere mai te rangatira, please welcome the Chief Customer Officer of 2 Degrees, Emma Kate Greer.
Thank you. At 2 Degrees, we're delighted to be the sponsor of the Best Growth Strategy Award, recognising companies with high-performing, meaningful growth strategies and innovative approaches. Let's take a look at this year's crop of outstanding finalists.
Contact Energy is one of Aotearoa's largest energy generators and retailers, with over 645,000 customer connections across electricity, gas, broadband and mobile. Contact's finalist recognition reflects a bold and disciplined growth strategy, delivering outstanding results. In 2025, the company achieved 15% revenue growth, a 22% lift in EBITDA, and a 40% increase in profit after tax, driving its market cap beyond $9 billion. The $2 billion acquisition of Manawa Energy added 25 hydro schemes and strengthened its renewable portfolio, which now generates 88% renewable electricity. With more than $2 billion invested in geothermal, solar and battery projects over 4 years, Contact is building energy resilience at pace. Its strategic focus, operational excellence and consistent shareholder returns make Contact Energy a standout example of growth in the New Zealand energy sector. Xero is a global small business platform that helps customers supercharge their business by bringing together the most important business tools, including accounting, payroll, and payments on one platform. Xero's finalist recognition reflects a growth journey from Wellington startup to global tech leader. With double-digit annual revenue growth over the past decade and recent FY25 performance surpassing $2.1 billion, Xero serves millions of subscribers across more than 180 countries. The company's strategic shift from growth at all costs to balancing growth and profitability has delivered strong shareholder returns, including 10-year share price appreciation of over 800%. Xero has an ecosystem of more than 1,000 connected third-party apps that extend its core accounting functionality. With approximately 45% of its revenue outside of New Zealand and Australia and a balanced global strategy, Xero continues to scale through innovation, efficiency and resilience even amid macroeconomic volatility, all while proudly retaining its New Zealand DNA. Fisher & Paykel Healthcare is a leading designer, manufacturer and marketer of products and systems for use in acute and chronic respiratory care, surgery and the treatment of obstructive sleep apnea. The company's products and systems are used in over 120 countries, improving the quality of life for millions of patients every year. Fisher & Paykel Healthcare's finalist recognition reflects a proudly New Zealand-grown global success story. In 2025, the company delivered 16% revenue growth to a record $2 billion, with hospital sales up 18% and home care sales up 13%. With over 20 years of double-digit growth, 43% of revenue from the US, and expanded manufacturing across New Zealand, Mexico and China, it continues to scale through innovation, efficiency and strategic resilience.
And the winner of the 2 Degrees Best Growth Strategy Award is Fisher & Paykel Healthcare.
The Deloitte Top 200 2 Degrees Best Growth Strategy Award goes to Fisher & Paykel Healthcare, an enduring New Zealand and global success story. With a clear and disciplined strategy, Fisher & Paykel has achieved 20 years of double-digit revenue growth, reaching a record $2 billion in 2025. Its innovation-led focus in respiratory, ventilation and sleep apnea care, combined with global manufacturing excellence and strong reinvestment in R&D, has driven sustainable value, expanding margins and life-changing impact for millions of patients in over 120 countries. Congratulations, Fisher & Paykel Healthcare.
Okay, thank you, everybody. First, I just want to start by thanking 2 Degrees for sponsoring the award, and also want to say congratulations to both Contact Energy and Xero for making the finals of this as well. So it really is my privilege to be up here and to accept this award on the behalf of the Fisher & Paykel Healthcare team. We're a company that plans for growth over a really long time frame. I'm talking 10 years, 20 years and beyond. We need a really clear and consistent growth strategy to make sure that we're making good decisions now that's going to mean we're going to keep on growing for that time frame. I think over the years we've become better at articulating our strategy, but the truth is that it's actually remained remarkably consistent at a high level for a very, very long time. That's a really good thing, and it's a big part of the success that we have had and will continue to have over many years into the future. So thank you so much to the judges for recognising us for this award. A good strategy is only helpful if you've got a team that can actually execute on it. We've got a team of over 7,500 people in New Zealand and around the world who make this happen every day. And I really wanted to say thank you to all of those people around the world that do that. We treat tens of millions of patients around the world with our products, and that we're going to be treating a lot more in the future. So thank you very much.
Congratulations, Fisher & Paykel Healthcare. I must say, you epitomise health as you started bouncing up towards the stage, and that's what we love to see. Now it's time to honour the next generation of business leaders who are moving Aotearoa forward.
Yeah, and just wait, because for all of the amazing sponsors we have this evening, when we saw this award and we were divvying up which sponsor would be with which award, we said we know exactly the one that is going to be for this award, because this award celebrates the bold, visionary, young leaders who are shaping the future of business. It honours an individual who has not only influenced and grown their organisation, but has pushed beyond the limits to achieve extraordinary professional success.
Sponsored by Snowflake.
Sponsored by
These
Snowflake.
finalists are trailblazers. They are 40 years of age or under, so you could still be in next year, Jack, endorsed by their organisations for their exceptional leadership and potential. Now, this is one of only 2 awards tonight that require a formal application, making it a true mark of ambition.
So, to present the Snowflake Young Executive of the Year Award, please welcome New Zealand Country Manager for Snowflake, Tony Shaw.
Good evening. I'm delighted to join you this evening as the sponsor for the Snowflake Young Executive of the Year Award. Let's take a look at the incredible finalists. They are the future of our leadership. They go beyond expectations and achieving both personal and organisational excellence.
Appointed General Manager Airports for Air New Zealand at age 30, Kate Boyer leads safety, customer experience and operations across 20 domestic airports and a global lounge network. Since 2023, Kate has delivered a transformation program that's improved safety, on-time performance, digital innovation at scale and customer experience for the company. Central to this has been rebuilding leadership and culture post-COVID pandemic, empowering a 2,600-strong team. In addition to her role at Air New Zealand, she serves as President of the Board of Airline Representatives New Zealand, representing airline interests across the country. Boyd Skirkovich serves as Chief Economic Development and Investment Officer at Te Runanga o Toa Rangatira, the mandated iwi authority for Ngāti Toa Rangatira. He has proud family links to Ngāti Toa, Ngāti Porou and Ngāti Kahungunu. Boyd is a pragmatic strategic leader who directs and oversees the commercial affairs of the group, a portfolio with over $1 billion of assets under management. The rapidly growing balance sheet has doubled in the past 2 years through executing on strategic vision. Boyd's broad portfolio spans responsibility for the group's subsidiaries, joint ventures, commercial partnerships, funds under management, and expansive list of assets. Boyd's accomplished business experience is underpinned by the values instilled in him growing up in Takapawahia. Directed by his humble yet visionary leadership style, Boyd designed and delivered the group's 2050 economic development and investment strategy, has materially advanced the commercial maturity practices of the group and plotted a path of intentional growth underpinned by strong social, environmental and cultural drivers. As a chartered member of the Institute of Directors, Boyd practices good governance in a range of executive and non-executive commercial board roles. Anna Mitchell is Executive General Manager Frontier at Chorus, leading fibre expansion, copper network retirement, property optimisation, corporate affairs and sustainability. She has over a decade of experience in telecommunications, advising on policy and commercial matters in regulated environments. Anna brings deep industry insight and strategic leadership, driving initiatives that reflect Chorus's purpose, unleashing potential through connectivity and enabling better futures for Aotearoa. Anna stood out for Young Executive of the Year, given her exceptional capability well beyond her current General Manager role. She thrives on solving hard problems and is energised by her place at the executive table. Her purpose-led leadership, particularly her advocacy for rural connectivity, stands out. Anna is currently leading efforts to close fibre gaps across the country, including driving a clear, executable program of change within Chorus.
And the winner of the Snowflake Young Executive of the Year Award goes to Kate Boyer from Air New Zealand.
The high calibre of finalists made this one of the most difficult calls judges in the Snowflake Young Executive category have faced. The judges were impressed by Kate's energy and drive, which saw her appointed GM of Airports at 30 years old. With a BA from Princeton and a background at Bain Capital, she now leads a team of 2,600 people at 20 airports throughout New Zealand and the world. Kate has a strong focus on strategy, safety, building relationships, productivity and performance. She impressed the judges with her collaborative and inclusive approach to leadership. Congratulations, Kate.
Kia ora tātou, thank you so much. I want to first of all thank Snowflake for sponsoring this award, Deloitte for their ongoing support of the business community in New Zealand, and our incredible and very inspiring panel of judges. I grew up in New Zealand and I love this country. I am deeply grateful to work for an organization that puts service to this country, its economic prosperity, and our customers at the core of everything that we do. That is nowhere more true than in airports, and it has driven the heart behind the transformation of the last few years. Thank you to the board and executive of Air New Zealand for their unwavering support of me. To my family, who taught me about integrity and hard work. And most of all, to my team. Operations is a team sport. You will all know that every day, all over the country, there are thousands of people quietly choosing to do remarkable, heroic, or just very caring things in our operation. This recognition should be just as much for them as it is for me. Thank you.
Congratulations, Kate. Now, at their core, nights like this are all about recognition, celebrating excellence, and acknowledging those who make it possible.
Like Kate's family, who I'm really enjoying, seeing smiling really hard behind the camera there. But it's also the perfect time to recognise the incredible family of organisations whose support bring the Deloitte Top 200 Awards to life.
So, we have a huge mihi tonight. A massive kia ora and thank you to Amazon Web Services, Business New Zealand, Forsyth Bar,
Hobson Levy, Service Now, Snowflake, Tax Traders, and 2 Degrees.
and to our new sponsor, Credible. And thanks again to our exclusive media sponsor, the New Zealand Herald. Let's hear it for the sponsors, please.
Tēnā koutou katoa. We honestly would not be here without you, so one more time, please, a little bit more noise.
Yeah.
You can do it. And keep that going, because now it's time to welcome a very special guest to our stage. E te whānau, tēnei te mihi ki te Premier, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, the Right Honourable Christopher Luxon. Nau mai, haere mai.
Well, ka nui te mihi ki a koutou, ka mihi ki te mana whenua ko Ngāti Whātua o Rākei. Kia ora and good evening, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. Can I just acknowledge Ngāti Whātua o Rākei and just to say thank you very much for your incredible leadership in Tamaki Makaurau and for all the work that they do supporting the community and growing our economy here. It's very, very special. Can I just acknowledge Mike Horn and all of the team at Deloitte and just say thank you for your passion for this event for over 36 years now. It's really special. And can I just acknowledge Fran O'Sullivan as well, who's been the convener of the judges panel for the last 12 years, and say, Fran, thank you very much for what you've done to support and recognise our incredible business talent in this country. Look, it's an absolute pleasure to be with you tonight as we celebrate the very, very best of New Zealand business. Our most successful companies, the leaders who drive growth and opportunity all across our country. The Deloitte Top 200 Awards, I think, are a real highlight of our business calendar and our year for a good reason. They remind us that behind every set of financial accounts actually is a story. There's a story of risk-taking, a story of grit, a story of creativity, and actually of people working together to build something greater than themselves. Tonight we acknowledge those stories and we celebrate excellence. And importantly, we recognise the leaders who have stepped forward not just to build successful companies, but to strengthen New Zealand's economic foundations. I've said it many times, but I truly, truly believe that New Zealand is at absolute best when we have the three actors in our society, government, business, community, actually working together in pursuit of a common goal, and while we each do what we do best. And for me, that means complementary roles, working together as partners, working on both the challenges and the immense opportunities that we have as a country. Our business leaders play an absolutely crucial role in shaping the future of our country. You create the jobs, you back the talent, you invest in new technologies, and you carry New Zealand's name and reputation out there into the world, into our global markets. And what stands out to me is the character of New Zealand business leadership. It's pragmatic and it's people-focused. It's ambitious without being arrogant. It partners instead of postures, and that's a culture worth celebrating and protecting. We all know, as we've talked about, the last few years haven't been easy. Global volatility, inflationary pressures, supply chain disruptions, and rapid technology shifts have actually tested each and every organisation. But New Zealand business has responded the way that it always does, by adapting, by innovating, and by keeping an eye very firmly on the future. And as a government, we're committed to building an environment where businesses can thrive, where investment is encouraged, growth is enabled, and success is actually celebrated. We want to back aspiration, we want to reward effort, and we want to remove the barriers that are holding enterprise back. Because it's pretty simple. When business succeeds, New Zealand succeeds. When you grow, our people benefit. When you expand, our economy strengthens. And when you lead, New Zealand earns its place out there on the world stage. I think New Zealand has everything it needs to be incredibly successful, one of the most dynamic, competitive, forward-looking economies in the world. We have great natural resources, we have strong institutions, and we have a culture of innovation. But most importantly, we have world-class leaders and talent, many of whom are in this room, and who believe in New Zealand's future and its potential. My ambition is that we grow our economy so that it truly works for our people. An economy that rewards enterprise, attracts global investment, boosts productivity, cuts the red tape, connects our businesses more deeply to the world, and importantly, lifts the incomes of all New Zealanders. That's not just the job of government alone, nor of business alone. It is, in fact, as I said earlier, a partnership and a responsibility, I think, for all of us. So tonight, I really just want to be able to say thank you. Thank you so much for your ambition. Thank you for your leadership. And thank you for your incredible hard work. Your leadership is guaranteeing a richer and a more confident future for our country. And as a consequence, more potential and more opportunity for Kiwis living all across New Zealand. On a personal note, I just hope that all of those being honoured here tonight, just allow yourself a short moment to stop and to reflect on all you've achieved and contributed thus far, to make sure you go thank the people that have helped you along the way on your journey, and therefore then go celebrate mightily and celebrate well. So let's have a great evening, and thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister. If there was anyone we would have given a free pass to for the old green shoots, it would have been you. We know you're thinking it. We're thinking it too.
No, he heard you and went, damn, I'm going to cut that part. But see, just pivoted. That's what we like to see. Hey, we are going to take a break now and let you all enjoy your main course and the beautiful sounds of the Rā Shamian Quartet. It's going to be a great time, so we'll see you in about 40 minutes. Kia ora koutou, enjoy your kai.
Kia ora, everyone. Kia ora. Sorry to interrupt. If you can please whai turu, come and find your seat. All right, we're going to take another break in another half an hour or so. So there's going to be plenty of time to pick up your conversations, catch up with colleagues, trade notes, do pranks with each other's awards, all those kind of things. If you can please find your table and find your seat. The Deloitte Top 200 is about to kick off again. This side of the room doing a lot better.
Yeah, I'd say you're doing a lot better than the Screen Awards, to be fair. This is why you are deputy mayors and CEOs, because you actually make things happen. And we're ready for the next part of our awards, everybody.
Come on, last few stragglers, come on.
Just one more moment for us to make some noise. Could you please help us celebrate the great music that you've been listening to tonight? Put your hands together, paki paki mai, for the Rā Shamian Quartet. Good sound.
I would say bringing a degree of sophistication that elevates even the most esteemed audience. Okay, everyone's found their seats, right? Yep, more or less. Okay. As you all know, these awards reflect the culmination of many hours of rigorous deliberation by our esteemed panel of judges and judging advisors. Their impartiality and expertise ensure that every decision upholds the highest standards of integrity.
So before we get into our next awards, we'd just like to take a moment to recognise our judges by name.
Hene rangi raumati te ua, Jonathan Mason, Gavin Lonergan and Darren Manning.
Susan Peterson, Dame Joan Withers and Liam Dan.
Juliet Tainui Hernandez, Dame Rajna Patel and Rob Campbell.
Katie Beath and Kate Wilson Butler. Our heartfelt thank to all of you. Put your hands together. Now, Jack, leading this distinguished panel is the convener of judges and head judge of the Deloitte Top 200, Fran O'Sullivan. Her expertise and guidance have upheld the integrity of our judging process for the last 12 years.
This year, though, 2025, marks a bit of a watershed moment for Fran. To share more, please welcome back the CEO of Deloitte New Zealand, Mike Horn. And we let him stay.
Our next guest needs little introduction, and look, I'm hugely proud to be up here to be able to invite our next guest up, because what she does is she is that wonderful New Zealand, I think, blend of passion and integrity. You know, she is incredibly passionate about the future of New Zealand, about business success, but does it always with deep and robust sort of understanding of the New Zealand business community and trust. And so, from a top 200 perspective, she's also been our head judge and convener of the Deloitte Top 200 Awards for 12 years. Most importantly, you know, through that period, that she's really helped shape the recognition of New Zealand's most outstanding businesses and outstanding leaders. And again, I don't think that we can underplay the importance of really elevating business success and leaders, but doing it in a way where, you know, those leaders and these awards can absolutely stand with integrity based on the analysis that the judges go through. But not only has Fran played a huge role in terms of the Top 200 Awards, she has launched a number of hugely successful and important initiatives within the New Zealand business community. Initiatives like Herald's Mood of the Boardroom, yesterday's highly successful United States Business Summit, and most importantly, you know, it's her acumen, you know, I think that has really sort of seen her flourish and has seen her, you know, invited into those type of organisations, you know, in terms of the things like the New Zealand United States Council and the China Council. It's Fran's understanding and integrity that is enormous. So look, in short, she's influenced and continues to influence conversations at the highest level of government, of business, and that role of really raising that profile in the media as well. So tonight she joins us to share her insights on leadership, on independence and the evolving business landscape. So I know she has a huge amount of friends in the audience tonight. So friends and colleagues, please welcome to the stage now the incomparable Fran O'Sullivan.
Fran, I hope you won't take this the wrong way.
Yes.
A sense of trepidation in her voice. I think of you as being the egg in the omelette. You hold everything together, right? You hold everything together. You link us all together. But it is 12 years now that you have been doing this role. And the obvious question is, why? So I'm going to reframe it and ask, what has kept you so committed to this job?
We've been hearing a lot about ambition today, and I think one of the things about me, and now that we are allowed to not be humble, which we've also been hearing about today at Bold Steps, I am ambitious for New Zealand, and I am ambitious for the success of New Zealand business. And if I just can go back a little bit, I came to these awards for many years on the arms of the late Michael Nathan, businessman, fabulous networker. We both would go our own way networking once we got here. But, you know, like, I really loved these awards. And when we had the opportunity, when, you know, we were seeing what was happening, Deloitte as long-term partner, Management Magazine was, you know, was folding essentially at that time, or the ownership structure, I got a call from Thomas Pipos, and he said, "Don't you think it belongs with you guys?" Meaning NZ, me and the Herald. And I went to see Jane Hastings at the time, and this is really what's happened. And she really recognised the value of basically supporting New Zealand's success at a very senior level. So that's where it comes from. I'm still, I'm a bit sorry to be going, but I actually do need to recover from a major accident, and I do need to make time for me. But, I can imagine it won't be long before there'll be some other project which will take my attention.
Yeah. So if you think about the change we have all experienced over the last 12 years, what have you observed both in the New Zealand business community, and how has that been reflected in the Deloitte Top 200?
Oh, look, I think the rise of women. I mean, when I first became a judge, and I think by memory there was just Dame Alison Patterson, who'd been recognised in around 2010, thereabouts, as Chair of the Year. And we were left, we didn't have the full book of judges, and I actually rang up Alison and I said, "Look, can you help me out, because I'm coming into this. We need to grow the awards quickly. We need to put it up, as I think NZME did, making it a major event again, and just take it forward." And she gave me that support. But over that time, I mean, I was just looking the other day at the data that comes through that Deloitte has put together. So many women are now in CFO roles, so many are now CEOs, and particularly high-profile directors and chairs. I mean, this is fundamental, and yes. But putting that to one side, I mean, some brilliant companies that continue to sustain, and obviously some of them are here again tonight. But I look also at the Xeros, the Rocket Labs, companies that we kind of only dreamt about 20 odd years ago. So there's been a fundamental shift. But I think, singularly, the rise of women.
Judging is a serious business and a tricky business, but the independence of the judging panel is often cited as a cornerstone of the Deloitte Top 200's integrity. How do you maintain that independence?
Well, I think people who are judges have to grow thick skins, to be honest, because sometimes you are a judge, and those who've been judges from corporate life will know if you make a call, the judges, even though you've stood aside, if it's your own firm or sector's interests, people don't always see it that way. So I would say just recognise the independence of the judges. The judges have been truly independent. We do have a code of conduct, how we operate. So, that is all sitting there. And but however, we're still vigorous, and as much as possible, we try to reach a consensus on the winners and the finalists. But often it's a fine call.
Yeah, you have spent decades reporting on and engaging with top politicians and business executives in New Zealand with initiatives like Mood of the Boardroom and the United States Business Summit. What do you think defines great leadership in 2025?
I was reading something the other day which said, a great leader is sort of like the conductor of the orchestra. Keep your back to the crowd, focus on actually what you should be doing. We've been hearing again today at Dame Teresa's and, her fellow bold steppers, about ambition and about not necessarily playing too much into the humility thing. But I think we do need to share success, and people have to be able to inspire their teams and also to share any awards and accolades among them. And we've already heard a bit of that tonight, and I think that's great stuff. But you've also got to be able to recognise what are those gaps in the market, the big trends, to get ahead of it and to take risks and boldly pursue them.
If you think about New Zealand's place in the world, I think it's evident that in the digital age, we aren't nearly as isolated as we once were. Given your work spans international trade, diplomacy, geoeconomics, what global trends have you observed, and how are they influencing business in New Zealand?
I think everybody is now focused on what's happening with geoeconomics and geopolitics. I mean, you really have to know what's happening in the world. I mean, obviously the rise of AI and all of that. But, what's happening with renewables, everything. I mean, it's a very different landscape, and it's very different to where it would have been even the 12 years ago when I started being the convener. I mean, things have shifted, but it's also exciting. I mean, it's amazing that your life can be pretty much managed by AI. I think it's fabulous. I'm just going to devolve so much. And many of you know I had a major accident a year or two ago, and my life would have been hopeless without what we have today, without Zoom, without AI. I mean, it's just enabled me to lead a proper professional life. So, there's pluses and minuses.
Yeah. Is there a moment over the last 12 years that you reflect on, a standout moment that you recall?
Well, there's several. I think when I'm thinking about some of the standout moments, judging through the period of COVID, and, it was pretty tough for a number of our companies were impaired, so they weren't actually showing the results that they would normally have done. So, that was some fairly tough calls through that period. And also, of course, Fisher & Paykel Healthcare has been acknowledged again tonight, but there was the wonderful 100-person only, event down at Deloitte's in Shortland Street at that time. And it was really interesting because 100 in the room. Lewis Graydon, Fisher & Paykel Healthcare, terrific moment. The other moment, I think it was 2023. What I do or have done each time is part of what falls to me is to ring up finalists and basically to do a bit of a verification. I ask that horrible question, is there anything that you might have coming up which might suggest that you don't get rewarded or awarded this year in any way? And this is sort of a bit bizarre if you have it, in a continuous disclosure environment. And it's only happened twice over that time where there were things that were happening in a company, and people just said basically not this year. And over time that became obvious. But however, you still go, that's only just the end of quite a long conversation. But the point about 2023, I was getting increasingly frustrated trying to find people. And they were all in Paris, of course. They were there for the Rugby World Cup. And, in the end, I joked that I actually got on a plane and went to Paris myself, which is true. But it was really at an invitation of the French Foreign Ministry. But, the upshot was trying to find Sophie Maloney because Sky was a finalist, and I did need to confirm with her that things were okay so they could be confirmed as a finalist. So there was a bit of a chase around Paris, trying to get her. So that does stand out.
Yeah. Well, look, I know you're looking forward to a New Zealand summer.
I am.
On behalf of everyone in this room, thank you so much for your contributions and efforts over the years. Please join me in celebrating the one and only Fran O'Sullivan.
Thank you. Yeah. Nice. Whoops. Hang on, just let me get this. You grab that. Yeah, I'll just...
Congratulations, Fran. I don't know, Dame Fran sounds quite good to me. What do you think? Yeah. Can we raise our glasses, please, to Fran O'Sullivan? Oh, they're good at raising their glasses over here. I didn't say you had to drink it. I just said just raise it. Okay. To Fran, everyone. To Fran. Congratulations, and what an incredible legacy that you leave us. Now we move on to our next awards, Jack. This goes about consumers, investors, isn't it?
Yep, consumers, investors, boards and employees must now consider the need to work together for the long-term benefit of our society and the environment. As we look to the future and the many challenges we face, we want to recognise those businesses who are taking a long-term view on how they're going to do it.
The finalists for the Credible Sustainability Leadership Award are all trailblazers, helping to shape a sustainable future for themselves and for Aotearoa New Zealand.
So, to present the Credible Sustainability Leadership Award, please welcome the Credible CEO, Jitesh Shetty.
Thank you all. It's my absolute pleasure to be a first-time sponsor for the Credible Sustainability Leadership Award. At Credible, we work with companies around the world to help them get a better idea around their sustainability posture, governance, and how to make strategic decisions around sustainability. And we really meaningfully do AI intervention. One of the things we see around the world is how New Zealand stands out in setting a better benchmark and really walking the talk when it comes to sustainability. Tonight, we celebrate these finalists who walk the talk when it comes to sustainability, and they really inspire us, but also inspire enterprises around the world. So let's let's take a closer look of these finalists.
Bank of New Zealand has been a cornerstone of Kiwi life for over 160 years. With over 5,500 employees and 124 branches and partner centres nationwide, the bank supports personal, business, agri and private wealth clients. BNZ's finalist recognition reflects the breadth and depth of its sustainability strategy, Te Pai Tawhiti, prioritising long-term resilience and business viability. BNZ is continuing to support New Zealand to reach its commitment to net zero by 2050. Recognising the greatest impact the bank can make is mobilising capital from policy and operations to supporting customers to navigate the transition and adapt to a changing climate. Backed by strong governance, BNZ also leads in supporting emerging nature markets, clean energy and housing adaptation. An advocate for a better future, BNZ backs its customers as they tackle complex challenges with commercial clarity, strategic partnerships and a commitment to impact. Listed on the NZX, Precinct Properties is a long-term owner, developer and manager of real estate in Auckland and Wellington. With deep city centre expertise and strong partnerships, Precinct delivers vibrant commercial and living sector projects that enrich city life. Its selection as a finalist in the Sustainable Leadership category reflects a proactive approach to environmental stewardship. This year, Precinct championed initiatives to measure and assure its full value chain Scope 3 emissions, reduce embodied carbon, and create social value in New Zealand's largest cities. All of this grounded in a commercial strategy that tightly links environmental impact with business performance. Precinct's sustainability influence extends throughout its supply chain, supporting contractors to reduce their emissions and source locally. With climate adaptation a portfolio priority and a joint venture with Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei, Precinct Properties is driving impact across the wider built environment. Goodman Property Trust, or GMT, is New Zealand's largest listed property investment entity. Managing over $4.7 billion in assets, the business has a 25-year history of delivering high-quality warehouse and logistics facilities. GMT's properties are modern, efficient and strategically located across Auckland, supporting essential supply chains. Goodman's finalist recognition reflects courageous sustainability leadership in a challenging economic climate. They have shifted from carbon offsetting to investing in an embodied carbon innovation fund, aiming to drive real change. Backed by a committed board, GMT asked, if not us, then who? With mature disclosures, strong governance and a clear transition plan, Goodman is tackling systemic issues while maintaining financial resilience. Its evolving efforts in biodiversity and iwi engagement redefine what sustainability means in property.
And the Credible Sustainability Leadership Award goes to Precinct Properties.
Precinct Properties is a very worthy winner of this year's Deloitte Top 200 Sustainability Leadership Award, following a finalist placing last year.
Precinct impressed with its commercially grounded approach to embedding sustainability and influencing positive change in the property sector.
It has led efforts to reduce embodied carbon, drive social value across its supply chain, and develop climate adaptation and operational resilience plans for all assets.
With a collaborative, impact-driven strategy, Precinct sets a high standard for sustainability leadership in New Zealand's built environment. Congratulations, Precinct Properties.
so much. I was trying to convince some of our table to come up onto the stage, but they were at Bold Steps earlier today and were forced to dance, so we didn't have any luck on that front, but I'm very proud to represent our precinct, so thank you. To the judges, to Deloitte and sponsors, it means a lot to us to be recognised, and particularly to BNZ and Goodman. We're all friends in this industry. We all like to support each other when it comes to sustainability as well. And also to all other businesses that are committed to progressing their sustainability ambitions. It's hard in the current climate, and so we salute you as well. That determination matters, and it matters more so now than ever. And the reality is we're operating in very difficult times, and for Precinct, sustainability provides that strength for us to move through those volatile periods and create value from our strategy. So I would like to extend a special thanks to Richard Hilda, our CFO, who laid the path ahead for us, and also our visionary CEO, Scott Pritchard, and Nick Greer, the chair of our ESG committee, who is here and has been a pillar of support as we move through the various pillars of our strategy. And of course, to our incredible team who are here tonight, one of our analysts, Robert, who helped do a lot of our climate analysis, really wanted me to say we're very Deloitted to be here. And I can't believe I just did that in front of the Prime Minister. I thought it might have been misinterpreted as my accent. So, so have a great night tonight, and thank you so much. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Does that pun get Prime Minister's approval? Is it really Deloitted? You can do a happy dance in your seat at least. Congratulations!
Yeah.
Woo!
The role of Chief Financial Officer is absolutely vital to any business. Under the stewardship of a talented CFO, a company is sure to thrive, and that stewardship has never been more essential than in the current landscape.
The Tax Traders Chief Financial Officer of the Year Award recognises a CFO whose performance from the previous year has been a standout.
This year, the judges look for a CFO who not only directed their organisation's financial performance and demonstrated significant contribution to shareholder value, but also demonstrated adaptability and innovation in these challenging times.
That's right. And here to present the award for this year's Tax Traders Chief Financial Officer of the Year, please welcome to the stage the co-founder of Tax Traders, Nicola Taylor. Woo!
Ina mana, ina reo, ina karangatanga, tēnā koutou katoa. Kanui, te mihi, he perimia. E te mana whenua ko Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei, tēnei te mihi. Thanks for having us at your place. Hey, it's a real pleasure to present the Tax Traders Chief Financial Officer of the Year Award. And our three finalists tonight are all astute financial leaders, and they're also known for being just wonderful at balancing both the human and the technical side of the role. They've all made a great contribution to the business community in 2025, and so let's meet them.
Richard Thompson rejoined Air New Zealand in March 2021 as Chief Financial Officer, overseeing corporate advisory services, investor relations, internal audit, corporate finance, networks, finance and group shared services. Richard previously spent 13 years with the airline in senior roles, and before returning served as CFO of MetLife Care, where he played a key role in its acquisition by APVG. Since rejoining Air New Zealand during the pandemic, he has steered the airline through extraordinary financial and operational challenges. Richard led a successful equity capital raise, established a medium-term note program, and managed complex cash flow pressures linked to engine issues and a weak domestic economy. With strong endorsement from the audit chair and executive team, Richard continues to guide Air New Zealand through a demanding recovery, balancing shareholder returns, capital strategy, and long-term resilience. Simon Kibble was appointed Chief Financial Officer and Company Secretary of Port of Tauranga in 2020, after more than 2 decades with the port, including as IT and Finance Manager. Prior to joining Port of Tauranga, Simon worked in professional services, including roles with PricewaterhouseCoopers and Ernst & Young in Singapore and Auckland. Simon is highly respected across the market, known for his humility, competence, and steady leadership. In 2025, he led the complex Marsden Maritime Holdings acquisition, an 18-month negotiation that merged land and port operations at Northport, unlocking strategic scale and long-term value. His financial stewardship has supported critical capital investments, improved operational performance, and delivered a 30% total shareholder return for the year ending September 2025. With strong endorsement from the Audit Committee and Executive Team, Simon continues to play a key role in shaping the port's future. Since becoming CFO of the A2 Milk Company, David Muscat has played a leading role in supporting the company's turnaround and positioning it for sustainable growth. Under his financial leadership and strategic focus, the company has delivered consistent profit growth while continuing to strengthen its balance sheet, with earnings per share increasing by 20% per annum since David joined in 2022. David has also been instrumental in executing key strategic initiatives, including the acquisition of Yashili New Zealand and the divestment of Matoda Valley Milk, both central to the company's supply chain transformation strategy. These transactions are expected to deliver meaningful benefits to shareholders by enabling further growth through increased market access, enhancing control over manufacturing processes, reducing risk, and generating strong financial returns. Reflecting the company's solid financial position and confidence in its future, David oversaw the introduction of its inaugural dividend policy, highlighting the strength of the business model, the resilience of the balance sheet, and a long-term commitment to shareholder value. With these strategic initiatives now in place and a strong capital structure behind it, the A2 Milk Company is well positioned for continued growth in the years ahead.
And the winner of the Tax Traders Chief Financial Officer of the Year is David Muscat.
All our finalist candidates are recognized as outstanding CFOs, but David has driven extraordinary performance at the A2 Milk Company. In his 3 years as CFO, David has helped build investor trust in A2 after their earnings dropped 4 to 5 years ago, leading now in the year ending September 2025 to a total shareholder return of 49%, an extraordinary impact for a CFO operating at the top of his game. Congratulations to David for being the Tax Traders Chief Financial Officer this year.
Tēnā koutou katoa. That is surreal. He was talking about me up on the screen just then. So firstly to Nicola and the team at Tax Traders, thank you so much for sponsoring the award. To Simon and to Richard, congratulations on your nominations as well. I'm on table 7 if you want to grab a beer later on. I'm incredibly proud of the year that we've had at the A2 Milk Company. We've continued to grow our brand. We've grown double digits in every one of our categories in every one of our regions. We've delivered exciting new innovation. We've entered new markets. We've implemented dividends for the first time. And we've completed 2 strategically important transactions. And they're not the achievements of one person in 1 year, it's the achievements of many people over many years. And so I've got a few people to thank. So firstly, I want to thank my team who have been with me on this journey and have been so constructive in the way that they carry themselves and always pushing for better. To the wider team at the A2 Milk Company and to the ELT, you guys are absolutely brilliant and the way that you execute our strategy is second to none. A special thank you to David Bortolussi. David is our CEO. Not only is David an exceptional CEO, David gave me my first start as a CFO about 11 years ago. And David saw in me what I didn't see in myself. And I really thank David for that opportunity. Thank you to the board and to Pip, and good luck with your nomination. And then finally, thank you to my wife, Catherine, who I couldn't do this without. Thank you so much, and happy anniversary. Thank you, everybody.
Congratulations. Is your anniversary actually today? It was Monday. Well done. You know, that sound we heard was like, ooh, and all the men going, oh. They're setting the bar so high. You had a full media centre here on table 7, and the smiles on the faces would suggest everyone really likes you too. So congratulations. Congratulations to all of our winners tonight. We move on to our next award, the Diversity and Inclusion Leadership Award, which honours organisations that implement a meaningful strategic program to achieve substantial and measurable performance improvement in diversity and inclusion metrics.
This is how it works. The judges take a detailed look at sustained leadership commitment, active workforce participation, and embedded practices that go beyond policy to create thriving, diverse and inclusive workplaces. They also look for evidence of genuine change that improves employee experiences, fosters holistic well-being and ensures long-term systemic impact on people and workplace culture.
So to present the award, ka nui te mihi ki tēnei rangatira, please welcome Deloitte New Zealand partner, Melissa Collier.
Kia ora and good evening. At Deloitte, diversity and inclusion means building workplaces where everyone, no matter their background, identity or experience, feels valued, respected and able to succeed. Diversity is about the unique qualities and perspectives each person brings, and inclusion is our promise to create a safe, supportive space where everyone can work together and grow. I'm delighted to be here tonight to introduce the outstanding finalists for this year's Diversity and Inclusion Leadership Award.
While energy is what Claris delivers, it's people they do it for. The company provides safe, reliable energy to families and businesses across Aotearoa. Claris owns and operates critical infrastructure assets, including First Gas, Flex Gas, Rock Gas, First Light Network and First Renewables, serving over 500,000 homes and businesses around New Zealand and supporting sustainable energy solutions. The organisation's reach spans natural gas, LPG, electricity distribution, energy storage and renewables, making Claris a key player in the country's energy future. The company's Building Belonging program raises awareness and makes inclusion real for all, with focused work streams for Māori, women and older workers. Claris is reducing the gender pay gap and working to understand and reduce ethnic pay gaps, supported by transparent reporting and targeted initiatives. With strong executive backing and a clear purpose, Claris is committed to cultural inclusion, supporting people as they age and building meaningful relationships with communities. Microsoft is a global technology leader with a mission to empower every person and organisation to achieve more. Since 1991, its Auckland-based team, led by Managing Director Vanessa Sorensen, has supported Aotearoa's digital transformation through innovation, cloud services, and now AI. The company is committed to sustainability, digital skills, and inclusive growth, with investments like the NZ North Hyperscale Cloud region. Built on trust and continuous learning, Microsoft remains a key partner in New Zealand's digital future. Microsoft's finalist recognition reflects its energetic and professional approach to inclusion, with standout initiatives in gender balance, Indigenous engagement and STEM outreach. From Māori Minecraft to inclusive internships and their 10K Women initiative, the company's leadership-backed programs are thoughtfully designed, transparently reported and deeply impactful. With clear plans for growth and a strong ecosystem presence, Microsoft exemplifies inclusive leadership at scale. With a vision to make Aotearoa one of the healthiest and best protected nations in the world, AIA goes beyond insurance, empowering people to live healthier, longer, better lives. The insurer does this by encouraging small, positive lifestyle changes. AIA is committed to being there for customers every day with a focus on simple, transparent claims and tailored rehabilitation support. The company also champions sustainability, well-being and inclusive growth. This finalist stands out for its deep commitment to accessibility with inclusive design embedded across the organisation. From strong staff networks to transparent monitoring and a practical neurodiversity toolkit, AIA demonstrates accountability and community impact. The company sets a powerful example of inclusive leadership in action.
So the Diversity and Inclusion Leadership Award winner is Clarice.
With a strategically integrated approach to inclusion, equity and belonging, grounded in Te Ao Māori values and wellbeing principles, Clarice's Building Belonging Whakawhanaungatanga program is well-resourced, data-driven and embedded across culture, leadership and operations. Targeted initiatives address structural barriers to support women, Māori and older workers, pairing young women with senior mentors, enabling flexible transitions for ageing employees, and a vision and transparency to close gender and ethnic pay gaps. Strong executive sponsorship and leadership DEI KPIs enabled measurable impacts including halved pay gaps, higher representation and impact beyond the workplace. Its depth and maturity made it this year's Deloitte Top 200 Diversity and Inclusion Leadership winner.
Kia ora, ko Nerali Takawingoa. On behalf of the Clarice team, we are honoured to accept this award. Our Building Belonging program has been shaped by our people, for our people, through their stories and experiences, and I'm incredibly proud of what we've achieved so far. While tonight is definitely a moment to pause and celebrate, we know there is still much more mahi ahead of us as we continue to make Clarice a great place to work. A huge thank you to everyone across Clarice who have contributed and supported this kaupapa. Thank you Deloitte for recognising the importance of inclusive workplaces through this award, and congratulations to everyone tonight. Enjoy your evening.
Congratulations to you all, to Clarice and everybody who has won so far. We have a couple more very prestigious awards coming up, but first of all, dessert. We're about to take another break.
Yeah, enjoy the food, enjoy the company, enjoy the beats. See you soon. Ka pai.
Sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things of what you're doing. In my head I paint this pretty little picture, yeah. Ooh, since I've come home on my
No mai hoki mai! Ho mai hoki mai te iwi! Please come and find your table. Whai turu, come and find your seat. We only have a couple of awards left this evening. The night is young. You'll soon be reunited to celebrate into the small hours. Come and find your seat.
So come on through from the bar. We hear that there's a few people that have just made sure that they've got their drinks out there. So have a conga line all the way back to your table. Kia ora, Justine. Big old day, a bold day, a great day. So let's bring this day to its conclusion with some wonderful, prestigious awards.
Come and find your seat.
Actually, we could make it musical cheers. Last one to find their chair. Okay?
Yeah. That's it. Hoki mai. Walk with purpose. Walk with
look at
purpose.
this.
Find your seat. Get comfortable for the final awards of this evening.
The Prime Minister is now seated. We are all seated and we are good to go. Okay, I think we'll get into it. Shall we, Jack?
Yeah.
So kia ora koutou, are you having a lovely night?
Yes.
That's what we like to see, and that's what we want you to do and enjoy and then celebrate all of your hard work for the year. But now, time for a very special award. I need to tell you about this award, and you're going to be in awe and wonder. So this award isn't necessarily associated with a top 200 company, or in fact, any company at all. Rather, they've taken a visionary position and led with purpose and by example.
So the recipient may be a fixture in the business world. They may be someone who's applied business methods to other fields, or they may be someone whose work is of critical importance to the business community. Their contribution might have been made in the previous 12 months, or the award may be recognition for a lifetime of achievement.
Now, you might remember last year's Hobson Levy Visionary Leader Award went to the Mowbrays for the incredible success story of Zuru.
And other past recipients read like a bit of a who's who of business leaders who have and continue to move Aotearoa forward.
So I think it's fair to say that this year's Visionary Leader is a true embodiment of that title.
So to tell us more, please welcome founding partner of Hobson Levy, Kerry Hobson.
Kia ora and good evening. What a fantastic evening. I hope you're all enjoying yourselves. At Hobson Levy, we believe that the right leaders matter, and a clear case in point is this year's recipient of the Hobson Levy Visionary Leaders Award. Let's take a look.
While on maternity leave in the late 90s, Carmel Fisher felt empowered to make a change and decided to start an investment fund company with her husband Hugh. Little did she know that years later, that same company, started in the spare bedroom of their home on Auckland's North Shore, would grow to be one of New Zealand's largest investment management and KiwiSaver providers, empowering Kiwis to take control of their own financial future. During the time of fax machines and early computers, Fisher Funds was one of only a few boutique fund management firms. By initially specialising in investing in small, often overlooked companies listed on the New Zealand share market and carving out a space for everyday investors, the company went on to manage $50 million within just 2 years and $300 million after 6 years. Over the next 2 decades, as Carmel's young children grew, so did Fisher Funds, managing $8 billion for more than 250,000 clients. Through her leadership and visionary approach as managing director, the company prioritised consistency and personal connection, becoming the country's 5th largest fund management company behind the major Australian banks. In late 2017, Fisher Funds was sold, and the firm still helps over 500,000 Kiwis invest through KiwiSaver and managed funds. Carmel built a reputation as a trailblazer and financial leader, using her platform to champion women's financial literacy and independence, as well as giving back to many charities. Her reputation was reflected in the many accolades she received over the years, including being inducted into the Company of Women Hall of Fame and appointed a Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit for services to business. To this day, Carmel is a respected business mentor and commentator, having also served as a director of NZX-listed investment companies, including Kingfish, Barramundi, and Marlin Global. Her story epitomises the Kiwi way, proving that vision, determination, and helping others can grow a boutique business to beat big. Carmel Fisher has helped making investing understandable, enjoyable, and profitable for over 40 years. In the opinion of the judges, she best exemplifies the visionary leadership this award celebrates.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Hobson Levy and the entire Deloitte Top 200 family, please welcome the Hobson Levy Visionary Leader Award recipient for 2025, Carmel Fisher.
So I don't know who was in charge of the photos, but that was a little bit of a journey through the archive.
It was.
Can you take us back to the late 90s, 1998? You're up against the big banks. The market is totally dominated by Australian giants. What was the spark that made you think, you know what, I can do this differently?
Well, through my university and my early career, I followed the legendary stock pickers, Warren Buffett, Peter Lynch, and I loved the way that they made share market investing interesting. They would tell stories, they would explain to investors why they bought certain companies and why they didn't buy others. And so they developed a following because they were storytellers, and so they made investing interesting as well as profitable. And in 1998, I had built up a bit of a track record in investing, but the fund managers in New Zealand weren't that interesting, and they weren't storytellers. So I thought there was an opportunity to appeal to everyday investors, because actually at the time, fund managers and even share brokers really targeted higher net worth investors, or wealthier investors. So everyday mum and dad investors just didn't even think about share market investing, and they certainly didn't think about managed funds. So I thought, well, look, I'll give that a go. So my husband Hugh and I set up the business following the birth of our first daughter, and we literally travelled the country speaking to investors in church halls and cafes and golf courses, and we just attracted clients one at a time. The difference between us and other fund managers was that we welcomed small investors. So we accepted $1,000 investments, or if you didn't have $1,000, you could actually just save $100 a month and then build your investment from there, whereas most other fund managers looked for the $50,000 or the $100,000 investors. So we literally travelled the country. We won clients one at a time, and it just grew organically, and thankfully our investment performance was good, and our communication was good, because I tried to follow in the footsteps of, I won't compare myself with Warren Buffett, but I wanted to be like the legendary stock pickers, where I could explain what we were doing with investors' money, and our investors really related, and we introduced them to companies like Michael Hill and Mainfreight and Pumpkin Patch back in the day, and so people could relate, and they sort of engaged with their investments. So we found a niche, we filled it, and it just grew from there.
So it's interesting you say that you forged relationships one-on-one. I called Simon Power, the CEO of Fisher Funds today. I called him the other day, and he said that to this day, whenever they go on a Fisher Funds roadshow, as they still do, he said people come up to them and ask about you. And he said there are stories, he said he just had one this week, and he said there are stories of you signing people up for their first Fisher Funds account at their kitchen table. And I suppose it speaks to a kind of democratization, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Like when you think about people who had been able to access funds and the world that you opened up, how do you think about those one-on-one relationships that you form with your clients?
Oh, look, I just think they're so critical in any business, but particularly when it comes to money. Money is very, very personal, and Simon's right. I mean, I had clients come to because initially our office was in our home, and we would have clients come to our home, and they wanted to write out the cheque in front of us and hand it over, just so we knew how important it was to them. So I think that direct connection has meant that we've had loyal, and Fisher Funds today has still got loyal clients who've been with the business for 20 years, and that's relatively unusual. And so I think personal relationships, direct connection, and transparent communication are the hallmarks of any successful business, really.
It's so interesting that you identify storytelling as being really important as well, and I suppose that's another part of the kind of democratization component. So when you think about the last almost 30 years in New Zealand, you think about where we were in terms of financial literacy and what in part you have been able to achieve in lifting financial literacy, especially among women. Mm-hmm. What have you observed?
Well, look, financial literacy has always been important to me. Just my father died young and left my mother with 4 children to raise, and she didn't have a lot of money knowledge. She never talked about money. She never really thought about it until after she had spent it. And unfortunately, she died. When she died, she had very limited financial resources. And I always thought, if somebody had just taken her aside and talked to her about money, she would have had a better life all round. And I've met so many girls and women over the years who just don't think about money. They don't want to talk about it. They often regard their partner as sort of their financial plan, and a man is not a financial plan. Or they would they put others' interests, especially their children, before their own, and so find that they didn't have financial security later. So financial literacy has always been so important to me, and I try and speak plainly and simply to make money not scary. I think we've come a long way as a country, and I think KiwiSaver has certainly helped with that. But we've still got a long way to go. I mean, there are still a lot of people who invest because somebody told them to, and that person might not know anything more than they do, but they just listen to them. Or they invest because something's performed well, so they want to get on the bandwagon. That's not financial literacy. It's speculation. So we've got a way to go, I think.
Every leader faces tough calls. Is there a professional challenge that sticks in your mind over the years as being particularly difficult or challenging?
Yes, the global financial crisis, 2008. At the time, nobody understood that it was a global financial crisis. All that our investors saw was that the value of their investment fell by 30% in a matter of months. And they looked at Fisher Funds and they said, "What have you done wrong? Why didn't you save us?" We were in the media because our returns were worse than others because of our unique investment approach. So we had to travel the country and face up to investors and explain what we had done or not done. And we weren't entirely sure when the markets were going to recover. And it was only with the benefit of hindsight that people realised it was actually a global financial crisis. It wasn't just us. But I feared for our reputation. I thought, how are we going to regain the trust of our investors? So we stuck in there. We continued to communicate. In fact, we probably over-communicated through 2008 and into 2009. And then markets returned, markets recovered, and at the end of it, at the end of the 2-year period, we had lost less than 2% of our clients. So, wow. I learnt from that you've just got to keep communicating, you've just got to remain consistent, and that's all you can do because everything around you is changing. You can't in the face of that.
AI and automation are reshaping all manner of industries at the moment. How do you see technology influencing investment and wealth management going forward?
Well, theoretically, AI can do it better than us. So, as a dinosaur stock picker, I hate the fact that a machine might be able to pick stocks better than I can. It's just a fact of life, I think. In every industry, we've now got technological competitors as well as human competitors, and we've just got to face it.
I suppose AI can't sign someone up at a kitchen table, though.
No, but I don't know how many investors nowadays really, I don't know how important that is, but I still think a personal connection will carry the day. And I know that my colleagues at Fisher Funds live and breathe that every day, that personal connection and communication, which a machine can't do, will carry the day, I think.
We've heard a lot tonight about ambition for New Zealand. What do you see as being New Zealand's opportunity in this moment?
Oh, I just think we punch above our weight, we always have. We can learn from global giants in every sphere. We've got so many natural resources. I'm proud that I've just joined the board of Invest New Zealand, and so I really look forward to taking New Zealand to the world and just showing how special we are. We often hide our light under a bushel, I think, and it's time we start to just glow a little bit.
I mentioned the road shows. I should also mention Takapuna. So Takapuna is your home.
Yes.
It's also where the office is based, and I hear that the open days in the Takapuna office are still, like, apart from this, obviously, the place to be. What is it about your connection with Takapuna?
Well, we started the business in our front room in our villa in Devonport, and I really liked being in Takapuna away from the rest of the investment community. There were offices in Auckland where fund managers would bump into each other, share brokers would bump into each other, and I suppose they'd cross-fertilise. I don't know what ideas they'd share, but I really like just being over the bridge. We'd just rely on our own ideas, and I think that was quite special.
You said, what is it? A man is not a business plan.
A man is not a financial plan.
It's not a financial plan. I mean, hopefully you've trademarked that, or you're selling tea towels or something. But if you take the investing, like the consumer side of things away, and you think about your role in terms of women leaders in New Zealand and the place you've held, what would be your advice to someone in your shoes from 1998, looking up at you in the audience today?
As a business leader, I think just carry on be true to yourself for a start. I mean, when I began, I didn't have any mentors. When I set up Fisher Funds, all I wanted was just to build a business that could play to my strengths and allow me to chart my own course, to control my own destiny. And I stuck to that, and so life became quite easy because I was just doing what I believed in, what I was passionate about, and what I believed to be what would be a success. So I think stay true to yourself, stay consistent, and communicate.
Tautoko to that. I really appreciate your time. Please join me in congratulating the Hobson Levy visionary leader, Carmel Fisher.
Thank you.
Serving looks since what, 1990s. Where's your table? Where's the Fisher family table? One more time, put your hands together. The amazing woman. You know what I loved about that was that you just heard how she cared about every $100 that a New Zealander saved and cared about everyone in New Zealand winning, and that's what it's about. Please put your hands together for our incredible visionary leader. Amazing person. Now, we've been talking all day about how, yep, it's a bit of a time, and in today's volatile business climate, strong governance and decisive leadership are even more critical to driving sustainable success. Our next award recognises the pivotal role of a chairperson in shaping strategy, guiding boards, and ensuring that organisations thrive.
The Forsyth Bar Chairperson of the Year Award honours an outstanding leader who exemplifies excellence in governance, demonstrates strategic vision, and fosters a culture of accountability and performance at the highest level.
To present the award, please welcome the Managing Director of Forsyth Bar, Neil Pavia-Smith.
Kia ora koutou, good evening everyone. At Forsyth Bar, we know that good governance is essential for a great business, and at the epicentre of good governance sits the board chair. It's my great honour to join you this evening to present the Forsyth Bar Chairperson of the Year Award for 2025. So let's take a look at this year's finalists.
James Miller is chair of Channel Infrastructure, leading its transformation into a growth-focused infrastructure business. Since joining the board in 2018 and becoming chair in 2022, James has guided the company through a complex transition, reshaping operations, financial strategy, and long-term growth. Under his leadership, Channel has delivered a 155% total shareholder return, outperforming the NZX 50, and now operates independently with stable earnings and long-term contracts. From its Marsden Point base, Channel handles 40% of New Zealand's fuel imports, including all jet fuel for Auckland International Airport, making it critical to the national economy. James has also championed a bold growth strategy, including a proposed biorefinery and energy peaking in Northland. And the company has ambitions to grow both in New Zealand and into Australia as well. It is estimated that the company's energy precinct growth projects at Marsden Point could inject $3.3 billion into the economy and create 20,000 skilled jobs. James continues to drive Channel's vision for regional regeneration and creating shareholder value. Pip Greenwood is chair of the A2 Milk Company, chair of Westpac New Zealand, and a director of Westpac Banking Corporation. Her leadership is widely recognised across New Zealand's business community, built on deep commercial and legal expertise and a career including 18 years as a partner at Russell McVeigh. Pip is respected for her governance rigour, stakeholder management, and ability to attract top talent to her boards. At A2 Milk, she has refreshed the board with diverse skills in global marketing, supply chain, and strategic planning, strengthening governance and supporting improved performance, key transitions across markets like China and Vietnam, and supply chain transformation. At Westpac, Pip has played a pivotal role in improving regulatory relationships, upgrading digital systems, and refreshing senior leadership and the board. Her influence has helped strengthen the bank's performance and earned her a seat on the group board in 2025. Known for her consultative style and sound judgment, Pip continues to guide two major institutions through complex change and opportunity. Peter McBride became chair of Fonterra Cooperative Group in 2020, bringing decades of leadership in dairy and kiwi fruit, including as CEO of Trinity Lands and chair of Zespri. Peter also currently chairs Sydney Markets, Trinity Lands and Sequoia Holdings, and is a member of the New Zealand-China Council. He has guided Fonterra through a period of strategic renewal, delivering record shareholder returns and building confidence among farmers. Peter led a successful capital structure reform, securing over 90% support through a nationwide education campaign. More recently, he's led a proposal for Fonterra to divest its global consumer business, which has also received strong shareholder support. Peter's experience across international markets informs a pragmatic, future-focused governance style and inclusive leadership. With deep roots in primary production and a commitment to stakeholder engagement, Peter continues to shape the future of New Zealand's largest cooperative.
And the winner of the Forsyth Bar Chairperson of the Year Award for 2025 is Peter McBride.
Peter McBride is a respected agribusiness leader with deep roots in dairy and horticulture. As chair of Fonterra since 2020, he has led the cooperative through major transformation, including the 2023 capital restructure with 90% shareholder support. In 2025, he delivered a record milk price of $10.16. Previously chair of the year for Zespri, he exemplifies steady, inclusive leadership in a vital New Zealand industry. Congratulations to Peter for being Deloitte's Top 200 Forsyth Bar Chairperson of the Year.
Thank you, and thanks Neil and Forsyth Bar for the award, and I also want to acknowledge Pip and James. It's a real honour to be considered alongside you, so I really appreciate you guys. Hey, the tragedy about the cowbell is the guy ringing it's a Crusaders guy. And we've got him on video, so. And the other tragedy is the guy that handed me my speech. The font's too small and the words are too long, so I've discarded that. And he's a Warriors founding member, so that's another tragedy. But anyway. Hey, look, I just want to acknowledge the Fonterra management team and Miles in particular. You know, Miles was dealt a pretty tough set of cards 7 years ago, and the team has pulled together really well. And also, you know, just the whole team globally, I just want to thank you. Yeah, it's been tough, but it's been great. I want to single out my Director of Governance, Anya Wicks. I couldn't do my job without you. Thank you. And also to my board, thanks for your support. My board's very courageous. When we say we're going over the top of the hill, we all go over together. Sometimes there might be one person just behind us with a St. John's bag trying to tidy up the mess, but that's usually Mike Cronin. But you know, to lead change in a co-op, you need to have courage, and you've got to have conviction, and you have to build trust. And so we couldn't do what we did without the trust and support of our farmers, 8,500 of them, and that's taken time to rebuild, but I want to acknowledge them and honour them as well. Finally, to my wife Linda, I want to say thanks, and my family, for all your support. You know, you can't do this type of job without their support because they pay a price for what I do. So thanks everyone and have a great Christmas.
Congratulations. Our next award is a benchmark award that recognises the best performance by a chief executive in the past year. So our judges have taken a detailed look at the performance of the winners' organisation and the extent to which they have influenced that performance and the business's current strategy.
The judges also place strong emphasis on the regard in which the winner is held by their peers.
Notable Chief Executive of the Year winners in the past have included Jolie Hodson, Sir Stephen Tyndall, Grant Webster of Tourism Holdings, and last year Fonterra's Miles Hurrell.
To present the ServiceNow Chief Executive of the Year Award, here is the Director Solution Consulting for ServiceNow, Nikita Sevta.
In challenging times, we need leaders with strength and vision. This year, the finalists for the ServiceNow Chief Executive of the Year are indeed some of the strongest and most resilient leaders in this country. Quite simply, they're the best of the best for New Zealand Inc. Let's take a look.
Sukhinder Singh Cassidy, CEO of Xero, drives the company's global growth and performance, bringing more than 25 years of Silicon Valley experience across companies like Google, Amazon, Yodlee, Joyous and StubHub. Sukhinder is focused on enhancing strategic clarity, transparency and alignment across Xero and celebrating the organisation's values that resonate deeply with Xero's New Zealand roots and global ambitions. Under her leadership, Xero continues to execute its 3x3 strategy, balancing both growth and profitability and championing innovation. Sukhinder has empowered teams to embrace AI, including training for Xero's more than 4,000 employees and integrating AI tools across the business. Her strategy and consistency have strengthened investor trust and employee engagement. With a clear focus on delivering value for Xero's customers, partners and shareholders, Sukhinder is leading Xero with purpose as a proudly Aotearoa founded company. Sophie Maloney is an accomplished New Zealand media leader with deep international experience. She joined Sky UK in 2003 and has held senior commercial, legal and strategic roles across Sky New Zealand, Sky UK, Sky News Arabia, Abu Dhabi Media and OSN. Returning to Aotearoa in 2018, Sophie was appointed Chief Commercial Officer and is now proud to lead Team Sky. Under Sophie's leadership, Sky has delivered outstanding shareholder returns and transformed public perception of the business. Sophie secured a major rugby rights deal on improved terms, led the strategic acquisition and integration of TV3, and strengthened Sky's local identity through inclusive storytelling and te ao Māori perspectives. With a clear purpose and future-focused ambition, she continues to guide Sky through industry disruption, balancing commercial performance with cultural relevance and a commitment to delivering value for Kiwis. Miles Hurrell has been the Chief Executive Officer of Fonterra Cooperative Group since 2018. He has led the cooperative through a strategic reset, focusing on its New Zealand farmers' pasture-based milk, sustainability credentials, and innovative dairy ingredients. With more than 20 years at Fonterra, Miles has held leadership roles across global operations, including farm source, cooperative affairs, and regional growth in the Middle East, Africa, Russia, and Eastern Europe. Since his time as CEO, Miles has overseen a turnaround in Fonterra's performance. In FY25, Fonterra delivered its strongest results yet, including a record farm gate milk price and a reported operating profit of $1.7 billion. As the co-op enters the next phase of its strategic reset, Miles continues to drive value through the co-op's food service and ingredients businesses, with plans to invest up to $1 billion over the next 4 years to deliver further value. Miles has helped restore trust in the co-op and is guiding its next phase of growth, balancing innovation, operational efficiency, and long-term shareholder value.
And the winner of the ServiceNow Chief Executive of the Year this year is Sophie Maloney, Sky TV.
Operational execution following a clearly communicated transformation strategy sees Sophie Maloney chosen as the Deloitte Top 200 ServiceNow CEO of the Year. During her tenure, Sophie has successfully concluded key content deals, refreshed its tech infrastructure, and expanded the platform with the acquisition of Discovery New Zealand. These actions have renewed investor confidence in Sky TV, resulting in a 34% return for shareholders over the 12 months to September 2025 and 157% during her tenure. Congratulations, Sophie.
Ena mana, ena reo, ena hau e wha tina koutou katoa, ki te mana whenua ko Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei, tina koutou, ki ngā rangatira o Deloitte Top 200, tina koutou, tina koutou, tina koutou katoa. Thank you, Nikita, and the team at ServiceNow for sponsoring this awesome award. And congratulations also to Miles and Sukhinder. It's an absolute privilege to be nominated next to you. And of course, thank you to the independent judges. And Fran, I'm very glad I was there to take your phone call, being here in Aotearoa. And it's awesome to be part of this event, so thank you, Team Deloitte. It's kind of exciting for media to be in the big end of town. Woohoo! And as many esteemed leaders in the room know, sometimes you have to make tough choices. And right now, it is the Sky Christmas party. It is Sky and 3 celebrating 35 years in this country, and it's an 80s and 90s theme. So to all of my team there, I know they're having a lot of fun. We're seeing lots of photos, but this award is also about all of them. I do love a good dance, so I'm very grateful that Chris, Amanda and Hursty, plus Johnny, might join me a little bit later to do that. No, there'll be no cams though, so don't worry about it. It's an awesome privilege to be a chief executive, and I was reminded of that privilege just last weekend. So I was presenting to some young up-and-coming warriors wahine who were in the first training camp in Nelson. And they had the opportunity to ask me any questions they wanted. And so this young woman said, I have 2 questions for you. It was quite serious. Number 1, do you classify your haircut as a mullet? And number 2, does that say anything about your leadership style? And I thought, maybe there's a future Prime Minister right in front of me with those great questions. And I said to her, well, yeah, it's a bit of a fancy mullet. I mean, it's not a cheap one, by the way. It costs quite a lot to maintain. But it does show my zest for life. It is about saying you can be yourself, and we need everybody to be their most productive selves if we're going to see them thrive in Aotearoa and deliver on the promise of this country. So, to wrap up, I only get to be here because I have an awesome team at home and at work. And we have an immensely strong board of directors who are very, very supportive of what we're doing. They are bold and brave, and they do like to go over the top as well. So, it's an awesome privilege to get to do what we do, to lead a company where our purpose is to share stories, possibilities, and joy, and of course, deliver great dividends for our shareholders. So on that note, it's a joy to be a recipient of this award. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā rā tātou katoa.
Ka pai, Sophie. And surely the night is young. Tell us you're going on to the next party. Yeah, the fancy mullet for the win. Ka pai. Congratulations, Sophie.
And so now to our final and perhaps most prestigious award of the evening.
The Amazon Web Services Company of the Year Award. You could just go, ooh. Ooh. Now, this award recognises exceptional organisational performance by a company in the preceding year.
In addition to the latest financial measures, the judges look at our finalists' corporate reputation, their approach to environmental management and people management, alongside a range of other factors.
In the 36 years of the Deloitte Top 200 Awards, this award has been bestowed upon some truly exceptional organisations.
Yeah. To present the Amazon Web Services Company of the Year Award, it is my pleasure to welcome the Head of Enterprise Amazon Web Services, Ben Teague.
As Head of Enterprise for the world's most comprehensive and broadly adopted cloud platform, now live in New Zealand, Amazon Web Services, I'm delighted to be here with you to present the prestigious Amazon Web Services Company of the Year Award. Let's take a look at this year's outstanding finalists.
The A2 Milk Company is a dairy nutritionals business fueled by its purpose to pioneer the future of dairy for good. Founded in New Zealand in 2000 and celebrating its 25th anniversary this year, the company has pioneered a portfolio of liquid milk, infant milk formula, and other nutritional products made with milk from cows that naturally produce only A1 protein-free milk. The company achieved a top 4 position in the world's largest infant milk formula market in China. It is the #1 milk brand in Australia and one of the fastest growing brands in the US premium milk category, with group sales of $1.9 billion, EBITDA of $274 million, and a market capitalization of $8 billion. A2 has navigated post-COVID challenges by refreshing its growth strategy, focusing on China and emerging markets, doubling brand investment, reshaping distribution, ramping up product innovation, investing in sustainability, and transforming its supply chain through the recent acquisition of Yashili New Zealand. This has resulted in a 70% increase in the company's share price this year and renewed shareholder confidence in its sustained recovery. Sir Peter Beck is the founder, CEO, and chief engineer of Rocket Lab, a NASDAQ-listed global space company opening access to space to improve life on Earth. Since launching in 2006, Sir Peter has grown Rocket Lab into... Sir Peter Beck is the founder, CEO, and chief engineer of Rocket Lab, a NASDAQ-listed global space company opening access to space to improve life on Earth. Since launching in 2006, Sir Peter has grown Rocket Lab into a 2,500-strong team across New Zealand, the US, and Canada. The company's Electron rocket is the world's most successful small launch vehicle, and Rocket Lab's technology powers over 1,700 missions, including for interplanetary science, national security, and commercial constellations. Aerospace pioneer Rocket Lab is a standout finalist, praised for its global success, sustained growth, and expertise across launch, satellite manufacturing, and mission services. With a strong focus on innovation, reusability, and sustainability, Rocket Lab is shaping a new industry for Aotearoa. Its US $31 billion market cap and world-class reliability reflect its operational excellence. Fonterra is a cooperative owned and supplied by thousands of farming families across Aotearoa. Through the spirit of cooperation and a can-do attitude, Fonterra shares the goodness of New Zealand milk with customers in over 100 countries. With a deep belief in the power of food and nutrition, Fonterra takes care with every drop from farm to customer. Fonterra continues to demonstrate exceptional strategic leadership and disciplined execution. Judges praised the organisation's strong financial performance, record milk payouts, and a landmark $4.2 billion divestment of its consumer brands business. With a sharpened focus on ingredients, nutrition, and value-added dairy, Fonterra is delivering sustainable growth, global resilience, and long-term value for farmer shareholders. Under the leadership of Chair Peter McBride and CEO Miles Hurrell, Fonterra remains a cornerstone of New Zealand's economy and a global leader in dairy innovation.
The 2025 Amazon Web Services Company of the Year is Rocket Lab.
For a country aspiring to be the global best, Rocket Lab is the standout winner of the Deloitte Top 200 Amazon Web Services Company of the Year award. From humble beginnings, it has built a globally leading aerospace business that is redefining access to space, humanity's greatest aspiration. Rocket Lab exemplifies world-class innovation, ambition, and execution. With leadership in launch and satellite systems, its commercial growth has seen the company's market capitalisation increase to more than $30 billion US. Rocket Lab is an extraordinary achievement for Sir Peter Beck and his entire team. Congratulations, Rocket Lab.
Thanks very much. It's been a pretty busy day at the lab, and to be honest with you, I came in here pretty hot and didn't prepare perhaps as I should. But one of the first people I bumped into was Miles Hurrell. And you can imagine what I thought. It's like, shit. Because Miles quickly advised me that I was competing against him, and nobody beats against Fonterra. So it was great to achieve this award. I think it's tremendous. However, I'm an optimistic kind of guy, and when Miles said that I'd be competing against him, I thought, oh well, at least I don't have to say anything tonight, and settle in with a couple of wines, both of which I'm regretting pretty significantly right now. However, it has been a banger of a year for the company. It's been absolutely amazing. If you look at our launch part of the business, it's a record year for launch for us. This time last year, our little Electron rocket was the third most frequently launched rocket in the world. This year, it's the second most frequently launched rocket in the world. But actually, what's pretty cool about that is Cape Canaveral is the busiest spaceport in the world. Mahia Peninsula is the second busiest spaceport in the world. It's also a great year for our space systems team. 2 weeks ago we launched, we didn't launch them, they launched for us, a couple of spacecraft that we built called Escapade. These are two spacecraft on their way to Mars. They've just whipped past the moon, and we're about 1.5 million miles away from Earth right now. And in about 1 year's time they'll arrive in Mars orbit, and when they reach there, 20% of everything that's active in Mars orbit right now will be designed and built by Rocket Lab. So we're very happy with that one. And then finally, as everybody knows, it's never one person, it's always a giant team. So I reluctantly dragged all of my executive team here up onto the stage. So a big round of applause for these guys. You've got representatives here from the Electron product, the Neutron product, space systems, comms, HR, rocketlabcareers.com. So thanks very much for all this award tonight. We really appreciate it. And, we had a great 2025, but man, 2026 is going to be way, way bigger. Thanks very much.
Tēnā rā, koutou katoa, Amazon Web Services Company of the Year, Rocket Lab. Tēnā koutou, always an optimist, showing us that not even the sky is the limit. It's more like from te mahia to the universe. We have celebrated so much tonight, kua tatamutu tā tātou kaupapa, and we are nearly at the end of it.
Yeah, before we go, we just need to acknowledge the tireless work of the business editorial team at the New Zealand Herald. Tim McCready, Duncan Bridgman, Tamsin Parker, Graham Skillen, Bill Bennett and Isabel Mariner.
Everyone over there, we see you. And of course the incredible team at Deloitte for bringing these awards to life.
On behalf of Stacey and I just want to say it has been a huge honour to be your MCs once again this year, to share the stage and the room with our brightest and best business talent, those who make significant contributions to moving Aotearoa forward, somewhat literally in the case of the Company of the Year this year.
Forward and beyond to infinity. Tēnā koutou katoa, you've been a beautiful audience. We really appreciate it. Please join me in saying a huge thank you again to our sponsors, 2 Degrees, Amazon Web Services, Credible, Business New Zealand, Forsyth Bar, Hobson Levy, ServiceNow, Tax Traders and Snowflake. And of course, to the exclusive media sponsor of the Deloitte Top 200 Awards, the New Zealand Herald. We're very grateful for all your support. Kia ora koutou.
Massive congratulations to our finalists and our winners this evening.
Yeah, really hard gig from here on. You just have to stay, celebrate. Sophie's got another party to go to. You network, and then please do pick up your copy of Dynamic Business as you exit the venue, where you'll find in-depth content on all of our winners and finalists. They've flown in from Fiji. They've come from everywhere in the world. We hope you've had a wonderful night because you deserve it. You've worked hard for this, everybody. Congratulations. Tēnā rā koutou katoa.
Pō Māori e koutou. Have a good night.
See you next year. Kia ora koutou.
How about